Thrilled to be joined by the head coach of the Langley Rams, Jordan McCarty. Jordan, first year head coach for you, former quarterback coach with the Rams. That must be a great transition for you because you're familiar with the team. First couple weeks of preseason, first couple weeks of the season, without getting into the results, how's it felt like being the main man with the headset on?
No, obviously it's busy anytime you make a jump in any type of role that expands, especially as far as responsibilities go. But you'd get into it, the end of the groove after a few weeks. But we've been busy since the early off season, so it's taking a little bit of time. But as far as the season function goes, we've had a schedule set in place and a plan, so it's been pretty smooth.
And did you think, well, I guess you probably know, but do you think having that experience before from being the quarterback coach help you make that transition so much smoother? Because it's tough going from a coach from a different team to a new team within the league, but having the background of working with the quarterbacks and the offense, does that help you make the transition pretty smoothly?
Yeah, it's obviously nice when you can have some familiarity and stay closer to home in that sense. But yeah, I would say obviously coaching quarterbacks helps because it's an important position within the team. But even going back as far as playing it myself, you have to deal with different positions and have to be able to talk to different guys, and it's a position of leadership, so it really feels no different. I just don't get to play, but obviously we have way more responsibilities as a coach. But that's the really only difference, I would say.
I want to congratulate you on your first win as a head coach this past weekend, 54-3 over the VI Raiders. That was following a 26-18 loss against the Huskers the week before, which was a tight one, obviously, 8-point
Yes.
difference. Congratulations on that first win, by the way. Must have felt good.
No, I appreciate it. It was obviously fun, and it's always good anytime you can protect home base and do a good job and play well in front of the home crowd. We did have some, an exceptional number of penalties in the game that we do have to clean up. And just like any team, if you want to get better and really compete with some of the teams that are maybe projected to be at the top of the conference, you cannot have that many penalties. So while I did explain to the boys they might be the first team to win by that amount and have to run gases after for it, but they'll be better. It's a learning process, but it's just discipline, and you have to make a choice to be disciplined, and that's what it's going to take to win big games down the road.
That was going to be one of my questions. Did the cold Gatorade dump make up for the frustration and the heat of the moment of all those penalties, or did it just kind of even out after a while?
So we didn't get the cold Gatorade dump, which is nice. I'm not gonna lie, we were in our new fresh coaches gear, so it's nice not to have it soaked in, sticky Gatorade yet. But, like anytime you win, you celebrate it with the team and you have fun, and there's always stuff you can learn from it. But yeah, it was awesome to see, and it's always good to win at home, and just to see the boys have a successful day on the field is awesome.
You talk about protecting home base, defending home base, if you will. Cloud Athletic Park, a great facility, obviously, for you guys, but man, what a crowd you guys had on the weekend. Boisterous, one of the busiest crowds in a long time. What was it like? What were the feelings like being at the helm for that game and just taking it all in?
Yeah, it was awesome. It's obviously been a while since we've seen a crowd like that at probably in a regular season game in Langley, but that speaks to the character of the team. These boys have a lot of people that want to support them. We kind of have an idea of, we can see who's obviously interested in tickets and this, that, the other, but these boys do have a lot of supporters in the background. A lot of them are involved in the community, whether it be coaching youth football or running youth camps or doing this, that, and, some other things within it. But it's amazing to see. It's awesome that they are supported, and they really deserve it. But they work hard, they do the right thing, and they care. So it's just awesome to see.
For yourself as a coach, you've been described as a player's coach, and I've just discussed this with other coaches around the league that some players take that into account and act differently or play differently. But I think as a coach, it's kind of hard to maintain that level. How do you take that as a coach, as a person? Is it a challenge for you, or do you just take it in stride?
Yeah, I mean, you take it in stride, but even, as far as being a player's coach goes, I think there's multiple ways that you can fall into that area. Whether it be you just care in general, or, you are a guy that can relate to different positions, or you have experience in different spots. There's multiple ways that you can be a player's coach, but yeah, you take it in stride, but it's just, being able to relate to your players and just, explain what you're really trying to do, and, hopefully they understand what's going on, and they just attack it and make it their own.
You look around the league this week, the first 2 weeks of the regular season, there's been a lot of lopsided games, including your guys' on the weekend. I don't think that speaks to the difference in quality between the teams in this league, but you look
Mhm.
at that as a coach, where do you guys fit into that? Is it something that intimidates you a little bit? Or are you just ready to take on every game separately, one at a time, and just try and go out there and win football games?
Yeah, definitely. I definitely agree with the take it one game at a time. Even to proceed that, I'm a one day at a time kind of guy, and that's even as far as football goes, one play at a time. But it happens. I think it's still early. People are still working out the mistakes and little things that are happening. I don't think anyone has truly maybe played a perfect game yet across the league, even with maybe a big score here and there. But yeah, I still think it's early. It's going to be competitive. It looks towards the middle of the schedule. You have some interesting games that line up, and it's going to tighten up down the road.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about that as well. There was no real official preseason game, so that I'm sure plays a factor. For the Rams as a team, obviously they won the national championship 2021, fourth place finish last year. When you look at the team this year, the first couple of games for you guys, a win and a loss. Is this year about rebuilding, retooling, or just getting back to the groove of winning football games and trying to make it all the way again?
Yeah, in the off season when we got to look at the roster with the coaches and everything, we really felt that this wasn't necessarily a rebuild. We did have a lot of returning players from the previous years, some of them as far back as 2021, obviously. That is a small number, but they are there. So we just had to retool in a few positions, and we had to upgrade some spots and just get more competitive. And that just drives the team forward when you have good competition. So that was the main focus.
You talk about your team. One team that unfortunately ceased operations was SFU football program, and you pulled a lot of guys from there. But has it helped you and the players in a way to be able to pull guys from there that maybe you weren't expecting, or get them football games when they wouldn't have had that program or fallback, if you will, in that facility in that university there?
Yeah, it's obviously a crazy situation that happened up there, but those guys that have joined the program, we have a solid group of about 12 to 15. But they really changed the culture of things as far as how we practice and the seriousness of it. They bring a focus to the team, and it's been radiating throughout, and it's contagious. So it's been awesome to see. It's always never easy when you have a major change in your life like that, and you have to flip gears. But these guys that have jumped on board with us, and they've poured everything into it. They've worked hard. These guys have been amazing, and they've definitely changed the culture. They've, in my opinion, sped it up in a sense, and it's made life easier for coaches. And their energy and effort is contagious throughout the team, and everyone loves it.
Yeah, I mean that's great to hear that they found a home, so to speak. And just finally, this is an off week for you guys. It's crazy that 2 weeks in you have an off week. Is that a good thing for a coach, or is it good to just kind of regroup and say, "Hey, this is what we need to work on as a team, and get ready for next weekend"?
Yeah, I think again, it just depends how you use it. We've done everything normal, just like we would if we had a game this Saturday. Obviously, you can find different ways to get better that don't involve being on the field, but we've kept everything the same as far as meetings, film, and on the field. So nothing's changed for us. Anytime you have a game off, it's an opportunity. Maybe some guys that maybe a little bit sore earlier in the season that are not used to playing full games. It's an opportunity to get some things cleaned up and just work on yourself and get ready to go. So I think it's a good thing. I would definitely prefer earlier rather than later, but yeah, we've enjoyed it. We worked hard and we made it count.
Awesome. We'll enjoy a bit of a break from game action. Appreciate you taking the time, Jordan, and best of luck throughout the season. Look forward to chatting with you later.
Hey, no problem. I appreciate you taking the time, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you.